Alright, let us make some stamp and go, otherwise known as saltfish fritters. Here I have my onions. I'm going to dice my onions. Try not to cut them too chunky because the onions will cook while the fritters is frying. So you don't want to make them too chunky. And the amount of onion you use is all about preference, what you like. I love onions, I might add a little bit more. So if you don't really fancy a lot of onions, you can decrease the amount you put in it. And for the sweet pepper, I'm going to use red and green, just for contrasting color, so it looks really beautiful when I bite into it and see the difference in colors. And just like with the onion, you're going to go ahead and dice those small as well, because we're not going to saute them before. They're going to be cooked while they're frying, while the fritters is being fried. I love a lot of flavor in my fritters. Keep in mind, this is optional. I'm going to add jalapeno pepper, a little spice. You can use scotch bonnet pepper if you're brave enough, but remember to remove the seed, and you want to dice those as well. So I'm using jalapeno, it's not as spicy. I'm using some sweet corn, this is optional. And for the cod, saltfish, you want to remove all the bones. We're going to boil off some of the salt, and then we're going to flake it up and add everything to our flour. I'm not making a lot because my kids don't like saltfish. So if you're going to make fritters and you don't fancy saltfish, then you can omit the saltfish. You don't have to make it with saltfish, right? Then I'm going to add some scallions to mine. I had these in the freezer. You can freeze the scallions for months and have them. So I always just buy a whole heap and put it in the freezer. I'm adding a little salt because I'd boil and remove a lot of salt from the saltfish. I'm going to add a little jerk seasoning to mine. Just a little bit more flavor, not a whole heap. This is optional, it's all about preference. So add a little jerk seasoning to mine and add a little black pepper. Then I'm going to completely combine it and then add water and mix it to the consistency. I don't want it to be a little bit runny. Then again, this is preference. Some people like the fritters flat. Some people like the fritters with a little bit of a hump to it. So it all depends how you like it. I like it to have this consistency. Then I'm going to go ahead and fry them up and then quickly turn it and let them drain on a paper towel. And when you break into it, it is so fluffy and delicious. You can have this by itself with a cup of tea, or you can serve it like what I'm doing here. I'm serving it with some ackee and jerk sausage. Delicious Sunday breakfast.